As a kid growing up and watching movies like Back to the Future, Time Cop, and The Terminator, I've always had the illusion that time travel is possible. Yes, I know, it's clearly impossible. But if it was, I will go back in time and I'll tell my younger self these 10 things to keep in mind starting out as a beginner artist. Number 1. Take responsibility. Oftentimes as human beings, we find it really hard to put the entire blame on ourselves. We prefer to shift the blame to someone else and then stay in our own lane and feel comfortable. Most times, we're wrong. We will usually blame someone else, an idea or a system, and say that is what is hindering us from starting to draw or create anything or even maintain a healthy learning schedule. I found that taking responsibility for all my inactions made me become much more disciplined and allowed me to take advantage of any opportunity I had to pick up a pencil and actually sit down and draw anything. Anytime I feel like saying, oh, I can't draw because my pen is bad, or I don't have a pen, or my pen is just got stolen or something, I'll pull myself together, get up, go outside and buy a new pen. Taking responsibility would have helped me start way earlier than I had started, and by now I would have even been able to start touching the helm of Leonardo da Vinci. Number 2, ideas are not gold. So I had this belief that my ideas were extra precious, so I bottled them up and treated them like gold, literally. And if I were to see my younger self right now, this is what I'll tell you. Your ideas are not gasoline. You can never run out of ideas. There's always more in the tank. An easy fix to this is to write all your ideas down and then start working immediately on the ones that are pressing or more exciting to you at that point. A lot of the times we usually think of ideas, but because we feel we're not at a certain level yet, we usually tend to forget to write them down, and then gradually we just forget them entirely. I think starting on ideas immediately we think of them should be encouraged more often, regardless of your current skill set, because eventually you will grow, and if those ideas you worked on earlier on were bad, now you have the experience to create better ideas and rework those old ones and make them way better than they ever were. 3. Put yourself out there. These days it's becoming way easier to network, and at the same time it's becoming really difficult building an online presence. If I had known then at the early stages of my career, putting myself on every social media platform and cross-promoting my art would have really helped me right now in growing my personal brand. Like I mentioned earlier on, we're usually scared to share our art because we feel like we are not ready and we feel like our skills are not up to par with our peers yet, which is totally fine. But a smarter way to go about it will be to start off early, putting yourself on every platform and sharing your art everywhere. So it's easier for people to see your growth and how much work you're putting in to improve your craft. Don't be intimidated by any other artist. They all started from somewhere, and right now it's your turn. 4. Always use references. Now, as easy as this sounds, it's even easier to forget about it. Generally, when starting out, we usually hear this rule that using any form of reference is bad. But we all know that rules are meant to be broken. And it's not even a rule. Psst. Nobody cares. So the next time you're drawing an image and find yourself stuck trying to figure out a pose or a lighting setup, do yourself a favor and pull out some reference and use it. Some people consider using reference as cheating, but that is really an awful way to look at it. The early masters from the Renaissance era totally relied on reference to further solidify their forms and make them look way much more realistic. Now clearly they are masters for a reason, so if they could do that then that means it's totally fine to use some reference and to actually use it creatively, not copy exactly what you see in a picture. A good way to approach using reference is to treat it as a guide. That is, after you've created your original thumbnail sketch. So basically the reference will serve as an enhancement to your initial ideas to make them more realistic. 5. Make art you like. Now we all begin making art because we enjoy drawing. For some of us, we enjoy drawing our favorite cartoon characters, comic book heroes, and even big action movie stars like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
But I'm all woman.
So we end up getting caught up drawing the same characters over and over and over again. This is not a bad thing at all. Then when I was starting out, I was always told to draw more African characters instead of drawing the superheroes I grew up reading. And I tried it. It was fun. I enjoyed doing it. But for someone else, that might not be your thing, and that's totally fine. You might prefer to be drawing Spider-Man swinging around in a city. If it makes you happy and keeps you inspired to get up every day and draw, please be my guest. Draw as many different versions of Spider-Man as you can, and maybe you might get hired to eventually work on Spider-Verse 4. Who knows? Life is very funny. So always make art you really enjoy creating, not just because you want to share it online or post it in a group. Make the art that you genuinely love and care about, because trust me, people can see through the art you like, and they can see through the art you really don't like. So keep that in mind when next you pick up a pencil. 6. Don't worry about the numbers. It's 2019. Everyone is busy scrolling through their phones and double tapping and checking how many likes they've gotten on that picture of their dog. I mean, it's not a bad thing, right? We all want more than 1,000+ likes on our images, right? But we also have to understand that the number of likes and comments we get on our work clearly has zero significance on our skill as artists and cannot help us get better at drawing hands and feet. Focus more on the fundamentals and study how to properly draw and light the human figure. Eventually, your audience will notice your improvement and begin to gradually share your work, and all your social media channels will start growing organically. Caring too much on the immediate feedback on an image will not only leave you depressed and feeling anxious, it will totally discourage you, especially when the feedback is not what you imagined. Having a close niche of people that think the same way you do and have similar goals they're trying to meet at the same time will really get you motivated and totally increase your work output and your work rate. They kind of mean the same thing. Now, I have always had close friends that shared the same vision with me all throughout my career, so keeping myself motivated to create has never been a problem at all. If you're a lone artist watching this, I'll suggest you find friends that have the same mindset as yourself and also share similar visions and goals and drive that you have, so you guys can share ideas and inspire each other and challenge each other as well, but in a friendly manner. Remember, they're friends. You shouldn't be competing with them. You should be collaborating with them. Number 8, get some rest. This one is definitely not even possible, but if I had known, I would have reduced some of all those unnecessary sleepless nights. When I first started out, I usually spent a lot of sleepless nights drawing every day and trying hard to get better and doing studies and paintings all the time. Now, these sleepless nights usually pushed my body to its max, and this left me really tired. I couldn't even be productive the following day if I eventually had some sleep. We usually had like 2 to 3 hours of sleep. If we even slept at all, it will be roughly just 2 to 3 hours, and we will wake up really tired and lazy and unproductive throughout the day until we eventually get our body to put in at least 5 to 8 hours of adequate proper sleep. Getting adequate rest allows the brain to reduce accumulated fatigue and also refreshes your entire body. Taking at least 5 to 8 hours of sleep every night will have your body feeling refreshed and totally ready to kick off the next day. So basically, you have better ideas and enough energy to power yourself through the rest of the day and kind of get into a grind of implementing your ideas immediately you wake up, because when you wake up in the morning, that's when you have the majority of energy in your body, and that's the best time to put in your studies, and every other important thing you want to do in the beginning of the day. You can just do it there. You can even plan the rest of your day right then in the morning when you wake up. Number 9, share your progress. So I actually did share some of my progress on my Facebook page and on my DeviantArt portfolio, but if I had known, I would have made way much more videos and recorded my entire learning process all across the years. Then I would have gone ahead to sort everything from daily to weekly, monthly, and yearly progress, so everyone could see how I had come through the years and how my style eventually changed and transformed depending on the people I was looking at then and I was drawing inspiration from. So if you're a beginner artist starting out now, I would suggest you keep track of all your progress weekly, monthly, and yearly with something like a blog or an online portfolio, or you can even use your Facebook albums and just create a different album for each month, or you can just create a different album for each year, and then you can have a separate online portfolio to share your final pieces so you can actually get some client work further down the line when you're ready to start taking freelance and client work. Another alternative would be to create a Google Drive folder where you can upload all your work and pretty much do the same thing, separating it from months to years and even weekly, and naming each folder accordingly. So later on, when you have gone through the years and improved much more, you can download everything and then upload it as a video on YouTube or wherever else you want to share your work. Number 10, just freaking start. I think out of every other thing, this would have been, or this is, one of the most important things I wish I really had known way much more earlier than now. As creative individuals, we find ourselves always coming up with concepts and we never finally get to actually see them through or finalize them to any extent. Sometimes we just let procrastination and laziness get the better of us, and then we find ways to give ourselves excuses to start later on. One thing I would have told myself as a beginner artist would be to start immediately I feel that idea pop into my head, instead of just waiting for confirmation that never even comes and always feeling like I wasn't ready. But the truth is, that feeling of not being ready, you can never really get rid of that feeling. We always want to wait for the perfect moment, but the thing is, there really isn't any perfect moment. It's just impossible. There's no such thing as a perfect moment. It's just all in your head. So stop waiting for anything. Start that portfolio now. Start drawing that image now. Start your YouTube channel now. Heck, just start anything, man. There are 7.7 billion people in the world, and only 2 people thinking about you are your mom and your dad. In a bid to support this channel, I started a Patreon page where you can get high-res images of my work, step-by-step processes, exclusive access to my PSD files where you cannot get anywhere else, and a host of other video content and long-form videos that I don't post anywhere else. And all these go for the price of a cup of coffee. So sign up now with the link in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like, drop comments down below of what you would have told yourself as a beginner artist, and subscribe to this channel if you have not subscribed to my channel before at all in your life. Please do that now. I'll wait here. You're still taking long, haven't you subscribed already? The button is down there. It's just the red button down there. Just click it to subscribe to my channel, and then click there's a bell icon right there, right? Yeah, there's a bell icon there too. Click the bell icon. Yeah, so that will notify you every time I drop a new video on YouTube. Yeah, clicked it, right? All right, that's good. Wow, I'm so tired, but I will see you in the next video. All right. I'm going to get some sleep now. I told you that that's not possible. All right, peace. I will see you in the next video. 7, one of the numbers that rhymes with heaven. And I hope I'll go there. I pray I'll go there. I know I'll go there. Will you go there? Let me know down in the comment section. Do you think you see yourself in heaven? Do you think I'll see you in heaven? I'll jam you in heaven and shake your hand. Hey, my guy, how fun. You think that? Some of you, the way you people are doing. People at the back, I'm not sure. But don't worry, me and Babaji, will go yarn. Understand? We go yarn. So my guys now, I feel those reason Babaji made us, allow them to pass. Understand? Made us pass. So later on, I feel us. You know now, correct guy.